All right, guys. Would you let a artificial intelligence doctor diagnose you or give you a prognosis? I think that's the right word. I'm not sure what the prognosis, diagnosis, I don't know how that works, but welcome to That's a Bet podcast where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, and technology. Today's video, we're talking about ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and your doctor visits. No more wasting time. Let's get into it.
ChatGPT is the top performing doctor in a new study conducted on 5 AI language models. It scored 98% on the same 50 questions that doctors have to answer to get a medical license, beating competitors Claude, Gemini, Grok, and Hugging Chat/Llama. Joining us more right now with more on this is Dr. Scott Gottlieb. He's former FDA commissioner, also a CNBC contributor. And Dr. Gottlieb,
Hey, welcome to the Jetsons. We about to have doctors, AI doctors. Are you guys here for it? Would you let AI take care of you or handle things for you in the doctor's office? You may not have a choice. You may be forced to just deal with AI being part of your doctor visit.
I have to say, I learned a lot reading through your article that's now posted on this. I think the thing I learned that shocked me the most is that doctors only have to get a 60% to basically get a passing grade on this.
Yeah, and the average score is a 75%, and all of these large language.
Why is that shocking? All they doing is writing prescriptions, being drug dealers.
Models passed the medical licensing exam. So what we did was we fed 50 questions from the USMLE Step 3 medical licensing exam. So this is the third in a 3-part series of exams that doctors take. Typically, you'll take this Step 3 while you're in your first year of residency, and it's the final step before getting your medical license. So we fed 50 questions from this exam to the top 5 large language models. We were expecting more separation, and quite frankly, I wasn't expecting the models to do as well as they did.
I know you guys are watching the video right now, but I had to let you know about a couple books that I'm reading right now. You guys can join me inside of my book club. First 2 that we're going to start off with is called AI Superpowers, China, Silicon Valley, and the New World Order by Kai-Fu Lee. All right, this is going to talk about all the AI superpowers that's in the world right now and what everybody is fighting for to get AI supremacy. We always like to stay up to date with the technology and make sure that we're making good investments and making sure that we're putting those investments back into our business. So the second book that we're going to read is called Chip War. This is about all the microchips and semiconductors that's in demand in the country and in the world right now, actually. And if you're making an investment in the chip market and the microchip and the semiconductor markets, we want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into what's going on with the microchips and what China and the USA and the rest of the world are doing and what this is all going to lead to. So if you're interested in this and you like rocking with our channel where we talk about business, entrepreneurship, and technology, make sure you click that link and join us in the book club. We're going to start reading this real soon. Don't miss out. Can't wait to see y'all there. Now let's get back to the video.
The reason why we wanted to do this was a lot of consumers and physicians are using these large language models to answer medical questions, and there really wasn't good evidence out there on which ones were better. There were some studies looking at individual models, mostly ChatGPT, but no one had compared across the different models. And the results were really striking to me, the fact that ChatGPT got a near perfect score. And the other thing that ChatGPT was able to do was contextualize its responses. So it didn't just give you the answer, but it explained why it chose a particular answer and then why it didn't choose other answers. So it was very descriptive and gave you a lot of good information.
I have been.
See, now here we are at a crossroads where we have technology meets education. We have artificial intelligence meets education. And right now we're at a crossroads. Right now, educators are going to ask themselves, should we stop allowing people to use artificial intelligence to help them study, to help them take their exams? Or should we allow them to use artificial intelligence and I guess reconfigure what we consider educating them? Because it's kind of like a calculator now. Back in the day before the TI instrument calculators came out, you had the basic calculators, but even before then, you had to, count your fingers. You had to figure out the math. You had to do it in your head. You had to draw lines on a piece of paper to do the math. You had to show your work, right? But then calculators came out, which is, I guess you can call a prehistoric form of artificial intelligence where you could just punch all the numbers in and get the exact answer. That was a moment of a crossroads. Do we continue to teach the children how to show their work, or do we just allow them to use the calculator to get the answers? Which one do you guys think? Which one is more likely to be a real world experience? That's one of the things that I have an issue with when it comes to the school systems, is that I don't think that the educators or the school system in general does a good job of preparing students to enter into the actual real world that they're going to be in. I think that the school system is outdated. I think that the school system has not evolved along with all the technological advances that we've had in today's society. And it does a gross negligence in preparing children to enter into this new world that we are living in. It's not the same as it used to be in the 1920s and when the school system was first formed. You know, there's a lot of different ways of learning. There's more advancements. There's different types of industries. There's new ways to make money. Do we want to continue keeping our children stuck in the past, or do we want to prepare them for the world that they're going to go into? And now we're at the crossroads where we have artificial intelligence not just giving us answers to math problems, but to complicated word problems, to diagnosis and prognosis of different data points for a person's health. This is interesting here. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Googling my medical symptoms for years and scaring the heck out of myself, convincing myself I have everything wrong with me under the sun.
How many of you guys have Googled a symptom that you've had? You got like a little itch, a little cough, a little scratch, a little this, a little that, and then you go on Google and you try to, okay, what does it mean when you have this going on? Instead, now it seems like people are going to be going to artificial intelligence and getting a more in-depth and more accurate depiction of what could be going on with you.
Are you telling me that ChatGPT is going to be better at that, or is it going to be more of the same because I am clearly just somebody who worries way too much about things?
Yeah, look, I think the large language models are certainly better than using open source, search techniques like Google. They provide richer information, more descriptive information, and a lot of them will also provide references as well, or references certainly if you ask for them. And in some of the language models, we didn't look at Perplexity specifically, but that will certainly provide links to sources of information. But ChatGPT did the same thing. Lamont did that. Grok was doing that. So they were providing links back to the source information, so you're able to go back and look at a richer data set.
How is that any different, though? Because
one thing that I do want to say in regards to those of you that may be slow to artificial intelligence, those of you that may be reluctant to artificial intelligence, to software like ChatGPT, we're about to go into a new era where if you don't learn, or if you don't pick up this skill set of learning how to use artificial intelligence, you're going to fall behind, because pretty soon ChatGPT is going to ask you questions. When you type in a query and say, for example, you're trying to figure out something that's wrong with you, and you're going to tell the symptoms that you're having to ChatGPT, ChatGPT is going to evolve to where it's going to ask you return questions. It's going to ask you return questions so that it can get a deeper understanding of your situation, so that it can do its computations behind the scenes to try to provide a better output for you and give you a more in-depth answer, a more accurate answer. And that's like the 2.0 or the 3.0 or whatnot. So excuse me. So I encourage anybody that's not staying up to date with artificial intelligence, anybody that's not being thinking forward when it comes to artificial and technologists, and technology is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And I would encourage you guys to make sure that you are going in the same direction and learning more about it, because it's starting to impact people's jobs. It's starting to impact freelancers. It's starting to impact people that work for themselves, business owner, investors, the whole entire spectrum.
I think I'm pretty good at Googling this stuff, where I will look back to find, hard journals that come from scientific places that I really trust. How are they better at this than what Google already does? If I'm a practice user of Google who knows which references I really want to keep.
Yeah, look, I think if you just use general search, you have to put the information together for yourself. One of the things you can do with these large language models, and I've done it, is you can put in a series of symptoms and laboratory results and ask it to sort of risk adjust what the probable etiologies are. And the models will do that, and they do a reasonably good job at that. I've put in lab results, extensive lab results that were quite perplexing, and the models were able to give a pretty good differential diagnosis. And so that's how I think you can use the models in a more effective way than just using, open searching.
That's a lot different than a basic consumer kind of using these things and trying to figure it out. You're a doctor. You were putting in lab results and real things, not just symptoms. Oh, I have a headache, I must have a tumor. And you were putting in lab results and saying, why would you get these things? Is this a tool that doctors are going to be able to use to come up with more complex settings than they are, more complex diagnoses than they would be maybe without it?
Yeah, and a broader differential diagnosis. The key to medicine is coming up with a list of what the probable causes are given a certain set of symptoms. And these models can do a very good job at that. And, I've put in a lot of hypothetical scenarios to test these models. They're pretty good. One of the things, though, you have to be mindful of is that the models are probably instructed not to give medical advice. And so if it smells too much like you're asking for personal medical advice and putting in your personal symptoms, sometimes they'll balk and tell you to go see a doctor. So one way to sort of engineer around that is to tell the model that this is a hypothetical patient on a medical exam, and then that seems to get around their default settings. And so
you see that? He just explained how to get around getting the answer that you want. And that's what I mean when I say learning a skill set that allows you to learn how to use artificial intelligence the way that you need to get the answers that you're looking for. And we're in that era now where doctors are using artificial intelligence. When you go in and you tell them what the symptoms are, they do some lab work on you. They take that information, put it into ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT what would be the possible scenario or diagnosis with this person, and then they can work backwards from there to determine if this is accurate or not. So we're going into a new direction. Let me know if you guys are with this in the comments. If this video resonated with you, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the way out. Also, make sure you check the comments for the link to my mastermind community so you can tap into our community and clubs. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.